Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. Sangye Chodatho Vichonamla, Chanjo Pata Thanikapsuche, Taki Jinso Yevisunaki, Tola Penje Sangye Dubasho. Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Tenzin Pelki, and it is truly an honor to have you all for the first ever Buddhist Creators Convention. Before we begin the program, I would like to humbly invite His Eminence Tulsi Gyamse Rinpoche, who is our main collaborator of Sheshe Monastery, along with Khenche Gyumitsu Rimla, the principal abbot of Sheshe Monastery, and our two wonderful coaches, Mr. Milan Amin and Dr. Jamie Shukla, to please come forward and grace the event by lighting the butter lamp before the sacred statue of the Lord Buddha. Thank you for gracing this auspicious moment. Now, it is my great pleasure to invite someone truly special whose voice brings calm and devotion to our hearts. Mrs. Deepa Thakurji to the stage to chant the Heart Sutra in Sanskrit.
Ayavalokiteshvara bodhisattva gambhiraya prajna paramitaya charyam charmano vyavalokayati sma panchaskandhaः taśya svabhava shunyam pashyati sambuddhaः tasmat shariputra shunyatayam na rupam na vedana na sanya na sanskara na vijnanani na chakshu shrotra ghana jivha kaya manasi na rupa shabda gandha rasa sprashtayadva vyavasthitah sarvabuddha gate gate paragate parasangate bodhi swaha 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 iti prajnaparamita sutram samaptam.
Today I'm here to say, I was asked to say a few words to the Buddhist Creators Convention. So I think this is very important work what you're doing, because we live in a world that is very challenging, and things are changing so fast in this world. If you think back 10, 15 years ago, things that we never, not even imagined, like smartphones and things like that, has come up. And for sure, in the next 15 years, there will be so many new things that we don't even imagine now. I'm sure in 15 years, the children will ask us when they see the photo of you holding a smartphone, what is that? you're holding in your hand. So for the future generation, it's a very big challenge. And no matter how well educated you are in a kind of normal education system, I think it's very difficult to educate people how to live their life for the future, because we don't know what the future will look like. So therefore, I think that the teaching of Buddha is very relevant, no matter what kind of situation you are, because the teaching of Buddha is focused on how to deal with our negative emotions, desire, anger, jealousy, most importantly ignorance, not understanding the reality, not understanding the truth. So therefore, I think if people can be a little bit inspired by the teaching of Buddha and learn a little bit the teaching of Buddha, then they will be at the best education that we can give for the future generation. And most of you here, I think, are influencers. You have YouTube channels or TikTok or whatever. You have tools to reach out to like millions of people. So I think using that tool, using that platform to encourage people, to inspire people, to get more interest in something like Dhamma, which is, I feel, is the only way to give some meaning to one's life. So we have to be very skillful, I think, not too kind of pushy, and making it like appealing to the people without losing the actual message or without losing the method, main message, the teaching of Buddha. I'm sure we can use different means to reach out to people, different ways to reach out to people, but most importantly, without losing the main message, the main teaching of Buddha. So that will be very beneficial. Not only just to, I don't like to use the word promote Buddhism, but I think more like making it available. Because there's something like that, something this kind of method, it is a necessity for the survival of the human race, for the future generation. So therefore I feel it's very, very important. And my prayers and my wish that you will have a very successful meeting, and I'm sure you guys, when you all get together, you will come up with lots of new ideas, and then you will learn how to interact each other, help each other. So I think it's for a very greater cause what you're doing here. So I feel it's very important, and I have full support for what you're doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rinpoche, for your inspiring and compassionate message, and most importantly, for emphasizing on the authentic teaching of Dharma. I would now like to request His Eminence, Kapje Chulji Yangsi Tidichugi Loja Rinpoche. Rinpoche is one of our youngest participants of the Buddhist Creators Community, and we would love to hear some thoughts from him.
First of all, I would like to extend my warm greetings to everyone gathered here at Bodh Gaya, the secret place where Buddha attained enlightenment. I'm very happy to see so many Buddhist YouTubers and influencers present at this convention. In today's world, sharing the Buddha Dharma through digital platforms is both timely and meaningful. I deeply rejoice in and appreciate the work you are doing. I hope your videos bring peace and kindness to the world. I hope that every time someone watches one of your videos, they are inspired to change for just one day, to do little less harm, to do a little more good, and understand their mind a little better. As you continue your work, I sincerely encourage you to always hold a pure motivation, one that benefits the Buddhist teachings of all sentient beings. I offer my prayers and best wishes for your success and for the fulfillment of all your aspirations. Thank you very much.
Richard is actually 12 years old, so I would like to thank him for his courage and even having to face the crowd and then speak such beautiful words of wisdom. Thank you so much, Richard. We're also very honored to have a special video from the Director General of International Buddhist Confederation, Sri Abhijit Halgar.
I welcome all to the very important event known as the Buddhist Creators Convention 2026, which is being held in Bodh Gaya, the famous city, the city of enlightenment, and the city where the Buddha taught all of us the relevance and the importance of the human mind. And when you deal with social media, and when I'm talking to influencers, one of the critical things which we must remember is that social media and social responsibility come together, and mindfulness is a part of this. Whatever that you do has a great influence on society, on people, especially the youth. Small tweets can affect millions of people, can create revolution, can bring about cultural changes, can impact social voices, it can have influence on conversations. So it is extremely critical for all of us who have gathered here together that while we disseminate information, while we communicate to the larger world about whatever message that may be, whether it is political, social, economic, cultural, or related to Buddha Dhamma, one has to be extremely mindful as to what are you disseminating, what are you communicating. It's again the game of mind. You have a mind of a creator, you have created something based on what you feel is correct, but the mind of the audience, which could be in the number of hundreds or thousands or millions, is different. You don't have a control over that mind, or those minds. And those minds are going to interpret what you communicate in their own different ways. So that gap between what you want to convey based on a particular theme and what the larger audience is going to receive and accept based on that theme is very critical for us to be mindful about. And I would request and suggest to all of you to keep this aspect in mind while we try to generate new ideas, new thoughts, new creativities. We have to be very conscious about ethical norms, ethical values. We have to be conscious about inclusivity, which is extremely critical. We have to also be very particular about where our trend is shifting in the negative domain. You might be moving a particular theme on the social media with a positive gesture, with a positive perspective, but over a period you may see that it is picking up a negative trend. And you have to make an assessment of how this negative trend is going to impact the larger society. If it is really going to impact them adversely, you have to pull it back in time and try to neutralize it or to mold it in a manner that there is a positivity around that particular theme. I'm glad that you are getting together because, when you're working on the social media as an influencer, you have a certain perspective, you have a mindset, you have your own creative ideas. Sometimes some of you are very strong-headed and you feel that this is exactly what should be pushed in the social media because this is correct in your perspective, but it may not be correct in the other's perspective. So when you come together in a gathering like this in Bodh Gaya, which is again, as I said, a city where the Buddha taught us the relevance of the mind, it is a gathering of the minds of young influencers. And this is a location where you can share your ideas, positive ideas, share your experiences, get to learn about successes as well as failures which have occurred during the course of all of your activities on the social media, and come to a very humbling position with the blessings of the Buddha that mindfulness will be the core underlying factor in whatever activities that you do. I request all of you to have a healthy discussion across the board and remain in touch with each other. And also the IBC, which I represent, is always available to assist and aid you in case of any issues that you feel are relevant to Buddha Dhamma, which you want to push on the social media. In fact, I would say that today, in this very, very complex world that we are living in, where there is war, there is conflict, there are social instabilities, there are differences and divisions in the society, the relevance and importance of the Dhamma is very, very much more than what it used to be earlier. And therefore, I would urge all of you to use your respective platforms to, in a very fine and a subtle manner, to push the teachings of the Buddha which are relevant in the modern times. We had a convention in IBC known as the Global Buddhist Summit about 3 days back, where representatives from 40 countries had come to Delhi in a place called Bharat Mandapam, which many of you may be knowing. And it was very interesting to see how the Buddha's teachings today have spread to countries like Finland, Argentina, Brazil, Korea, Japan, of course, Congo, Tanzania, countries where you and I can never probably imagine in Africa and Latin America, where Buddha Dhamma is being taught. But this is again the influence of modern technology. This is where you people come in. There is no land barrier, there is no border between countries when you come on social media. And I would urge you to use this platform in a very positive way to send across the message of Dhamma. We are always there in the International Buddhist Confederation to assist you. Welcome all of you. And I wish you all the very best to have very healthy discussions during the course of this conference, the Buddhist Creators Convention 2026. Namo Buddhaya.
Also, deep personal experience as Buddhist practitioners who have walked the path of study and pilgrimage. Please join me in warmly welcoming your very teacher, Mr. Milan Amin and Dr. Jamie Shukla on stage. I would now like to invite our wonderful coaches to share a few words of wisdom with us.
Hello and welcome to the Buddhist Creators Convention 2026, guys. Welcome. I am Dr. Jamie Shukla.
And I am Milan Amin.
And we're so excited for all of you to come here today, to join us, to learn, to share, and of course, in the land of enlightenment. What a fortune, what exciting times that we are all here today. And I was reflecting on this just before, that we've got the land of the enlightenment of the Buddha here. We're going to be spreading the Dharma, and now we also have the Sangha to do it with. So we've got all three jewels here today, so over to Milan.
First of all, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for coming here. Many of you have come from all around the world, from so many different countries, and for one mission, to get 100 million views by 2030. For so long, people have been creating content for all sorts of reasons around the world. But maybe for the first time, you guys are going to learn some of the best tools and techniques used by some of the biggest celebrities in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, we have worked for some of the biggest companies and taken all of their tools, all of their tactics, all of their techniques, and we bring it to the land of enlightenment to help Buddha Dharma spread all around the world. So just for myself, I just want to take a big chance to say thank you all, and Dr. Jamin Shukla and I are going to do our absolute very best to ensure that you have everything you need to become some of the best content creators in the world. Thank you.
So one more thing is that you've traveled from all over the world, and we'd like to not only thank you for your time and the effort that you've put in to come here, but as part of it, what we'd love to request is that, yes, we'd love for you to take it seriously, but we don't want to be serious. So we'd love for you to be excited, ready, come prepared from tomorrow with the community talks that we're going to be having, and throughout this entire journey, please make notes, come and ask questions during the lunch times and the breaks. We're here to help. And we'd love for you to spread the Dharma, be amazing content creators, and we're here to help throughout the entire journey.
And one more thing, ladies and gentlemen, we're here to have fun. I know this is going to be a very intense convention. There's going to be so much wisdom, so much knowledge, but rest assured, we're here to have fun as well. And it's our job to make sure that you have a wonderful time, because learning doesn't need to be boring. It should be fun, and it should be enjoyable for all of you. So feel free to get involved, take part, and really enjoy the process. And of course, if there is anything that we can do throughout the convention to make your experience better, we are here to serve you in the best way possible. So please do let us know in how we can support you in becoming the very best creators. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, welcome to Bodh Gaya. Welcome to the Buddhist Creators Convention 2026. So it is really inspiring to see how many of you made it here, despite having to travel from very far away sometimes. So some of you took 1 day, 2 days, up to 3 days on the way to come here by plane, by train. And I also know that dedicating 10 full days of your busy schedule is a very significant commitment. So we'll, as was just said, we'll really make our very best to make sure that, we can all make the most of every moment of these 10 days. So we could not have chosen a more perfect setting than Bodh Gaya for the first edition of the convention. Prince Siddhartha reached complete enlightenment under the Bodhi tree and became known as the Buddha. After attaining enlightenment, he initially hesitated to teach and said, profound, peaceful, stainless, lucid, and unconditioned. Such is the nectar-like truth I have realized. Were I to teach it, no one would understand, so I will silently remain in the forest. So I often imagine his realization, was like discovering a permanent cure for a chronic, painful migraine. Now I kind of think of, the Prince Siddhartha, who was like someone who was suffering from a very strong migraine, and that his realization was the discovery of a permanent cure. When he decided to teach, it was simply because he saw others suffering from that same pain and couldn't bear to keep that remedy to himself. Because of that choice, we still can benefit of his wisdom 2,500 years later. It goes without saying how much today's world, filled with stress, confusion, and uncertainty, needs the profound peace he found under the Bodhi tree. Imagine how wonderful it would be to give our confused and tired minds some rest. And how wonderful it would be to offer that to others. On my journey here, I kept asking myself, why are we doing this? And why us? What made you commit 10 days to this convention? And why in the first place? Why did you actually become Buddhist influencers? I believe that each and every one of us started this journey after having a tiny little taste of the Buddha's cure to migraine. For some of us, maybe it was like realizing that everything is impermanent, everything will change, and that helped us overcome a difficult situation. For some, realizing that nothing in this world will ever completely satisfy us turned our attention to insights, to inner peace. And for others, realizing that nothing truly exists the way it appears, including ourselves, deeply transformed how we experience the world. Whatever our experience was, and whatever your experience was, you tasted the Buddha's cure, and the relief a little bit, and the relief was strong enough to make you want to share it with others. And so I believe that this is the reason why you became creators. And I believe that is why you are here today. Okay, so this brings us to the event itself. Okay, so we have prepared this beautiful standee. So the event, we named the event the Buddhist Creators Convention 2026. And so a convention is not just a workshop. Maybe some of you thought, oh, we're going to a workshop. It's not a workshop. A convention is a community event, a place where like-minded people, come to share and to build and expand, their network, to make new friends. And so we have set 3 specific goals for our time together: community, skills, and inspiration. So here we also gave ourselves a goal. Let's spread Buddhist wisdom and compassion to 100 million people by 2030. So, of course, being a creator is often measured by numbers. Number of views, number of followers, number of posts. And so that's why for this event and for the Buddhist creators community at large, we have decided to set a collective goal of reaching 100 million followers by 2030. And so today, right now, so your accounts, so of all of you gathered here, collectively amounts to around 2.5 million followers. So that means that we just have around 97.5 million left to go. Yeah. But as a community, and with the help of people like our coaches, I'm sure that we can do it. It's just 5 years. I think it's 5 years long. Yeah. Okay, so here, this is your convention. So as organizers, we are here just as fans. We're a fan of many of your, and we are also followers of many of your accounts. And so this event is yours. It's an event for all Buddhist creators. And so to help you go through this convention, we have prepared a small checklist, 3 items. So first, meet your lifelong community of collaborators. So that's the first item on your checklist. And that raises the question, are we a community yet? Maybe if you look around you right now, how many, can you count how many people you know? How many people did you ever talk to? How many people maybe helped you? How many people did you help? So please, just try it. Try to count and keep this number in your mind. And so, and at the end of the convention, count again. If that number went up, that means this convention was a complete success. So the second point in the checklist, get elite coaching and find the perfect partners for specific skills. So the checklist will be outside there, yeah, so you can take it later. Again, so this is a convention. This is not just a workshop. So we have scheduled 7 days of masterclass. It will be very intense. And each day you'll learn new skills, but the most important thing is to make new friends. Get help from from more experienced creators and help those who are just starting. So yeah, the classes in some way, I think of the masterclass classes, just like an excuse, for you to create new friends, start new collaborations, on specific skills. So every day will be a different topic. And so I really hope that when you leave here, you'll have a very extensive network of, let's say, camera specialists, a network of, audience research specialists, a network of AI tools, specialists, and new partnerships or collaborations, and so on. So in the coming days, we will help you to set up some communication channels so you can keep in touch and support each other long after the convention ends. Okay, so point 3, celebrate our best and brightest at the Buddhist Influencer of the Year Awards. So the week will conclude with the Buddhist Influencer of the Year Award ceremony. We will have 5 categories. Of course, we'll have the main award, but also some categories that will be voted based on your work during the masterclass. So, make sure that you give it your all. Everyone has a chance to get an award. Okay, so let me leave you with a quick summary of our mission here. So, number 1, community. So community means, from morning to evening, network. Talk to people, get their contacts, create new friends. And we really hope that you will become an active part of the Buddhist Creators community. Number 2, skills. So you'll get to learn new skills, not only from our coaches, but from everyone. And most importantly, never be afraid to ask stupid questions. That's how we learn. Number 3, inspiration. So, of course, get inspiration from our coaches, from all the bright minds that are gathered here. And also don't forget, when you go to the Mahabodhi temple, make sure to reconnect with the initial intention that made you embark on this journey. Namo Buddhaya. And enjoy the Buddhist Creators Convention.
Say about Gayantila is that he's a man of very few words. So someone who has spent the whole night practicing, he did very well. So thank you so much, sir. So additionally, in highlighting on one of the topics that he has said, he mentioned that we don't only have like 120 content creators who are representing today, but we have like around 2.2 million people who are your followers, who look upon to you for inspiration. So you're not just representing yourself, but I feel like it's very important that we should realize that every one of you guys are also representing 2.2 million people worldwide. Thank you so much. This convention would not have been possible without the hard dedications of our organizing team. I would like to invite my fellow team members to come in front of the stage, one by one. Sengi Catherine La, Kama Punjala, Stefan Punjala, Kinji Naran La, Yuri Singh La, Shiva Dejan La, Sunam Sharpa La, Mela Simula, Tunga Nambala, Chile, Mr. Rajiv, Sati Singh La, Sandhya La, Yonde La, and myself and my team. So these are the people that people that you have to approach if in case you need any support or assistance throughout the convention. So thank you guys. Fortunately, we received another special video from a very beloved Rinpoche, Dzongsa Khyentse Rinpoche, who will share with us the true intention of being a content creator. And because sometimes it is not just about why we publish, but also about the intention behind why, as a content creator, we create videos.
You know, I grew up being told that we have to be careful with all kinds of influence, you know. You know, human beings are so complicated. Part of us, we don't want to be influenced. But then, we want to be influenced ourselves. Human beings, what to do? Well, now, especially, you know, at this age, what do you call it? Might makes the rule, is it? What did Donald Trump say? I forgot now. Anyway, it's not just Donald Trump. This is what the Americans have been doing anyway all the time. Use the might. How you say all of that. How you appear, what you wear. So, I guess since there is always a quest for not wanting to be influenced, but wanting to be the influencer, I hope that at least we try to influence others with good intention and probably good content. I don't know what good content mean now. Anyway, that's it.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Rinpoche went on like a full blogger style video. Okay, now I'd like to request my beloved team member Sengila on stage to set the intentions for this convention.
Pleasure and an honor to be with you all tonight. As Dzongsa Khyentse Rinpoche just mentioned in his video and reminded us, what is important is to influence others with good intention. We can use different tools, channels of communication to do so. But what truly matters is not the tools we use, it's the message and the intention behind them. Tools evolve with time, but intention is what gives them meaning and direction. Whether through words, videos, image, sounds, or silence, it is our motivation that determines whether these tools become distraction or vehicles to spread wisdom and compassion. An intention is not a goal or an expectation. An intention is the reason we choose to act. It is the inner why that guides what we do, even when conditions change.
मेरी हैंडराइटिंग बिल्कुल अच्छी नहीं है पर इसमें जो लिखा है वो मन से लिखा है.
Everyone has wrote? Your intention, your positive review, and when we leave, our friends, the team will help you to show where to put them. So with that, I just want to say, let's keep those intentions to carry forward the motivation to use our skills and tools wisely, and as Chaitanya Rinpoche mentioned, also authentically, and in service of the Dharma and all beings. Thank you very much.
जो लिखा है मन से लिखा है